boy. Oh boy. Um, just as I feared, that was a track. LSU is lost the series 2 games out of 3. Um, that was a tough one. LSU had the lead. They had the lead, and then it was a tie game, 3-3. And Texas A&M absolutely ripped the hearts out of LSU. Everyone knew kind of going into that this was going to be a trap game. When you go to Blue Ball Park, that is a very tough place to play. Already talked about how tough it's going to be. And ironically, this also happened around the same time last year for A&M. A&M was the number 1 team in the country. They're entering the box. LSU was kind of on the. They're really down. I mean, LSU had an up and down year, but for the most part, they were really, really down. And LSU pulled off the huge series upset over A&M last season, and deja vu happened. Except it was vice versa this time. It was A&M. Who are on the who have been having an up down season. They needed a huge series victory over a top 3 team like LSU, and that's what they did. But anyway, I forgot to introduce myself. But my name is Grant Sashray. Pretty sure if you guys listened or heard me already, you guys know I've been hosting it. Zach should be here pretty soon. He's got to write this game up. So he's going to write the game up for this, and he's going to hop on. Don't know when that's going to be. Probably be 23 minutes, but it could be longer than that, depending on how much time he's putting into the article. But I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to actually get my mug for my coffee because I need as much caffeine as possible. I've just been really tired the last hour, and of course that ending didn't make anything better because now I feel a little bit, I won't say depressed, but sad coming into this. Just because you had to win. I mean, you want to see you had to win. I mean, the LSU's fine, but I mean, in terms of like you had them on the ropes, you took the lead after Luis Hernandez home run, and then A&M just took it right from you. We can take a quick break, but I'm going to play this message from Mark Rogers. We're having a new promo on Amazon, and check it out.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
What up, y'all? Get some water. Be right back. Oh boy. But yeah, very tough series loss for LSU. Let's break it all down. Really, I'll say this. I thought LSU did a phenomenal job pitching, right? And I think these last couple of weeks, LSU has just been awesome in terms of its pitching. I mean, the starting pitching has been awesome, of course, you already know, but what Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson have been doing so far in the last, really since SEC play started. Really, those two have really kept LSU in check. But really, what's been killing LSU is that it's inconsistency from behind the play. And a lot of people are saying that it's the bullpen. I don't even think the bullpen's necessarily the problem. Of course, I know LSU lost the game sort of because of the bullpen. However, I would just say that just the sport of baseball, right? I mean, Texas A&M scored 3 runs in game 1 and 1 run yesterday. Like, LSU limited A&M to 4 runs combined in the games 1 and 2. It's not like the pitching is at fault for that. Like, the pitching staff did its job. It's just that LSU cannot make contact with the ball when it came from behind the plate. If you look at what LSU did for pitching game 1, look, and by the way, I think Jace Follett, I saw something where he did not have a single hit this week. He may have had one in game 3. Actually, let me double check that. He finally got a hit, but he was 1 for 12 on the series, and he struck out 7 times. I mean, LSU was bullying Jace LaViolette the whole entire weekend, but it's just baseball for you. But Cade Anderson, game 1, 6 innings, pitching. He had pitched for 6 innings, only allowed 3 hits, allowed 1 run, which was earned, but he had 12 strikeouts. Like, he was awesome, right? And then Zach Cowan comes in. He only pitched about 16 pitches, which allowed him to pitch today. But and look, the bullpen did its job, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why people are complaining about the bullpen. The bullpen did its job. I mean, of course, I know Chase Shores allowed that home run, but look, A&M scored a combined 10 runs in 3 games. They did their job. And it really came down to a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning for A&M to even win the game. Like, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you expect the bullpen to do when the bats are not coming around for LSU. LSU scored, 6 runs the whole entire series? Like, in the SEC, like, you have to hit the ball. You just have to. In game 1, I know in game 1, of course, Josh Pearson had today 3. He went 3 for 3, and Jared Jones went 2 for 5 with a home run. And really, he was he tied the game. Jared Jones got a lot of flack in recent weeks, but he was the reason why the game was tied 1-1 in the 6th inning, and then A&M scored 2 runs in the 7th inning, and that was a wrap. They just not hitting the ball. I mean, game 1, they struck out looking 1-8. With runners on, they were 2 for 14. Yeah, A&M was struggling too, but LSU was struggling as well. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. This is a game 1. 2 for 9 in the leadoff. A&M 6 for 8. I mean, LSU just couldn't get it done. They really just couldn't get. And I know it also hurts that the umpires were terrible all weekend. I mean, they were missing some easy calls, man. Easy. I mean, it was it got to a point where even people who were like former players, just people who know the game because they played it, were even say, what is the strike zone? Like, it was awful all weekend. I get it, but still, LSU can hit the ball. Hakeem Batiste, another golden opportunity thrown by the wayside. Yes. Yeah. I mean, LSU kept shooting themselves in the foot all weekend. And people are blaming the bullpen. Some people are blaming the bullpen for their struggles. I'm not. I'm fine with the bullpen. The bullpen's been doing its job. It just if you can't hit the ball, like I mean, look if it's a 1-1 game in the 7th inning, and then like that's on the hitting. That's not on the bullpen, right? The bullpen can only do so much if you're not hitting. Same thing what happened in Tennessee. Game 1, Tennessee scored it was 1-0 pretty much the entire game until the 9th inning. Then Tennessee scored 2 more runs to make it 3-0. It literally took a miracle for LSU to even win game 1 last week against Tennessee. That had nothing to do with the bullpen. Matter of fact, when Tennessee beat LSU 93 in game 2, Tennessee scored most of their runs late. LSU, like last Sunday, was the best overall performance that LSU's had all season in terms of both hitting and pitching. Hey, Jackson, what's up, bro? Yes, yeah, look, I'm just going to say this. Jackson is an Alabama fan, but he's one of not many Bama fans that like I am. Well, he's one of a few that I'm friendly with, of course. I mean, I don't really know much Bama fans, but rivalry. But yeah, it's just not a it's just an overall bad performance by LSU, and we're gonna go to game 2 in just a second. Gotta change the background. But game 2, this is a game that LSU won, and it was another dominant pitching performance again from Anthony Ianson. Anthony Ianson went 5.1 innings. Actually, no, hold on. This is Texas A&M. My bad. Here we go. Anthony Ianson pitched a complete game with 14 strikeouts and only allowed 3 hits. One of which was a home run, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, I mean, he was awesome throughout the entire game. That home run allowed 1 run. I mean, that was it. It was just kind of a stroke of luck. But I mean, when you have guys like Anthony Ianson and Cade Anderson pitching like they've been pitching, I mean, they might be the best 1-2 duo in the SEC. You can make a strong case for Cade Anderson. Will be a draft eligible sophomore. So this might be his last year at LSU. Actually, it could be because, I mean, the way he's been pitching, it looks like he could be a top 3 round pick, right? I mean, he can go from rounds 1 to 3. I mean, if you drafted that high, I mean, he's gone, right? Just because of the money. But I would say Ethan Fry, man, he's been having a series. I'll say that. If there's one bright spot about this series, I mean, outside of the pitching performances, Ethan Fry, game 2, 3 for 4 with an RBI, and he scored a run as well. Josh Pearson also had another good game, 1 for 2 with an RBI. So Ethan Fry and Josh Pearson both were responsible for LSU's 2 runs that were scored in game 2. And if you look at LSU, I mean, both teams cannot hit the ball. I know A&M has been struggling so far recently with their hitting. Actually wrote it down somewhere. But yeah, A&M is 12th in batting average and on-base percentage. This is going into the game. They were 12th in batting average and on-base percentage. They were 14th in hits. And also their fielding wasn't very good. I mean, A&M's fielding is one of the worst in the SEC. It's near the bottom. They have a 968 fielding percentage, and 972 in SEC play, and that's near the bottom of the SEC. But A&M's pitching, and that's what bothers me too, is that LSU, like they went up against A&M doesn't really have a great pitching staff, man. They just don't. That's not a knock on A&M at all. I'm not saying A&M is a bad team. Obviously, like they're just having a down year. I mean, and usually any other year they would be one of the better teams in the conference. It's just that they're just having a down year. But going into the Now, this might be misleading because I think these stats were taken after game 2. But if you look at their pitching, like their ERA is a 4.17, right? And their main bullpen guys, none of them have below a 3 ERA, right? Their pitchers, Justin Lamkin. Actually, let me pull up Bill's email because they had. Here we go. Because he had the pitchers. Here we go. So going into the series, Ryan Prager, who pitched game 1, had a 4.04 ERA. Justin Lamkin, who was the pitcher yesterday, 3.92, and today Miles Patton, a 4.84 ERA. Like, this is not a great look. By the way, the pitch, yeah. I mean, Miles Patton, like I said, 4.84 ERA. He allowed 4 runs, all earned on 6 hits, but he also had 6 strikeouts. Like LSU, they failed to take advantage of the opportunities that were given. Man, oh my God. But if you look at let's go back to game 2. But game 2, 6 for 31. That was a 194 batting average. This is game 2. With runners on, 2 for 8. Not bad. 250. That's okay. But they were but they're 222 with leadoff. So they're 2 for 9. So that's a 222 batting average. They just for some reason they cannot hit well in the leadoff. They just could not. I mean, they did a little bit better this game in terms of runnings and scoring position, but I mean, they really didn't have many opportunities because nobody could get on base. Just an absolute disaster for LSU. Although they did win this game, but I mean, if it weren't for Anthony Ianson, they probably lose. But going to game 3, look, they did better in terms of so LSU. Yeah, I just can't believe they lost the game. I'm just not lost for words, but they went 7 for 34 from behind the plate. And Luis Hernandez, was the reason why LSU was in the game and also winning the game. Luis Hernandez, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. And, of course, he hit the home run for LSU to take the lead in game 3. And then but Hunter Dickinson went 1 for 3. Derek Carroll went 1 for 4, and Ethan Fry went 1 for 3. And Ethan Fry had a great series, y'all. To be honest with you, I expect him maybe to be the DH moving forward. Maybe this could be a one-off performance by him. But what I saw today, I mean, that's a guy. While everybody else was struggling to hit the ball, he hit the ball pretty well. But also, I think that's because he's a lefty. And if you look at all 3 of A&M starters, they were all lefties. And when you have a lefty versus lefty matchup, you're going to have a higher success rate than, let's just say, a right-handed batter going against a left-handed pitcher. It just always is. And I think that's one of the main reasons why he benefited. Maybe he benefited from that, but also, so it could be one-off. But I also think that, it's not a coincidence that he also hit the ball really well. I mean, when he's hot, he's hot. But when he's cold. But Ethan Fry has been batting 355 for the season. So he's been a solid hitter so far throughout the year. But it's just, I think one of the biggest reasons why he was able to do so well is because he's a left-handed hitter. But if you look at the comparison, like I said, LSU went 7 for 34 from behind the plate. That's 206 batting average. He actually did well with 2 outs, 4 for 13. That's 308, which is not bad at all. With runners on, LSU went 3 for 11, 273. Not bad, but it could be better. And then runners in scoring position, they went 500, 2 for 4. But A&M just hit the ball better, right? A&M 9 for 33, 273 batting average. With 2 outs, they went 5 for 13. That's a 385 batting average. With the runners on, 5 for 14, 357 batting average. So there really wasn't much separation between the two teams. It was literally just, it was literally just Sorrell's home run in the bottom of the eighth, then a 3-run bomb. That was his only hit of the game was that one. And of course, that was the most crucial one. And really, that could have been a season-saving home run that Sorrell hit. Just a absolutely tough loss for LSU. Tough loss. Tell your friends and the cashiers at Ross's Market about the match that the Grand Zachary brought on LSU Live on LSU at the Voice of College Football Monday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. Stay tuned. Hell yeah, Jackson. Thanks for the shout out. But yeah, if you have any comments, let us know. Yeah, please comment if you have any questions or let them. So I'm going to start this here as long as possible. Just kind of break down the game and what lies ahead for LSU. But one of this bothering me is the hit. Yeah, like I said, is the hitting, and people are wondering what's going on with LSU in terms of his play. But if you look at so this is all from yesterday. This happened. This all was recorded after the conclusion of game 2. But if you look at their stats, let me actually pull this up for you guys. Hold on. So these are the stats for the whole season, and then we'll get to the SEC only stats. But you can see Derek Uriel is batting 3 for 63. That's a team high. And also, by the way, if you guys have been unless you guys have been living under the rock, Derek Uriel is a freshman. Well, that's for you guys who are living under a rock. Derek Uriel is a freshman. He's leading LSU in batting average. And he's been a solid hitter for throughout the season for LSU. And some people are comparing it to Dylan Cruz's first season. And there's some similarities. I think Dylan Cruz may have more pop on the bat, but if you look at their production, not only from behind the plate and in the field, very, very similar. Jared Jones right behind him, batting average 356. And he actually leads the team in hits with 68. This is, by the way, before today. So just want to throw that out there. This is before today. And I believe he still will lead LSU in hits after today. But 14 doubles and 16 home runs and 60 RBIs. That's also a team high. Ethan Pryor, like I said, 356. He's had 7 doubles and 8 home runs. Most of his stars have been coming as a designated hitter, so he's been balling out. Daniel Dickinson 327, 12 doubles and 8 home runs. Josh Pearson 321 with 6 doubles and 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. And Chris Stamkos has been an underrated performer for LSU, although he doesn't produce as much runs. He's really a guy who just gets on base, hits the ball and gets on base. He does whatever he can to get on base, and he actually leads LSU, I believe, in batting. Coming into the series, he was leading LSU in batting average and SEC play. So the one thing I am concerned about Stephen Milam's drop off. Stephen Milam's one of LSU's better hitters last year, and he's really been struggling. A lot of that has to do with his performance in SEC play. But let's go down to that actually. And but actually, let me show you the pitching stats too. For the season, this is after yesterday. Anthony Nianson 3.16 ERA, and in his 12 starts, only allowed 54 hits, 27 runs, 24 of which were earned, 26 balls, and 105 strikeouts, and 68.1 innings pitched. Opposing batters have a batting average of 213 when they go up against them. Cade Anderson, 357 with a 6-1 win-loss record. But in 70.2 innings pitched, allowed 29 runs, 28 which were earned off of 57 hits, with only 19 walks and 114 strikeouts. But both of those guys have been balling out since conference play started. I think their stats will actually the ERA will look a little bit different when you get to conference play. But I mean, even look at the bullpen, right? Casey Evans, although he did get a start last week, 1.09 ERA. Zach Pound, who's also been used out of the bullpen this season, 1.56 ERA. And he has 49 strikeouts of 40.1 innings pitched. That was, again, this is before today. Same thing with Casey Evans, 47 strikeouts out of 33 innings pitched. Both those guys have been phenomenal. Cooper Williams, in 15 appearances, only has a 1.59 ERA. I mean, they've been solid. Like I said, they've been solid throughout the season. It's just nobody's hitting. But this is how you know hitting is really the issue. Look at their SEC only stats. Let me see if they actually have it here. Oh, here you go. Right here. Went too far. Like I said, Chris Stanfield, 333 from behind the plate in SEC play. Like I said, he leads LSU with a 333 batting average in SEC play. Derek Curiel is not far behind him. 316 batting average with 22 RBIs. I mean, he actually leads LSU in RBIs in SEC play. That's just how phenomenal he's been. Daniel Dixon, 293, 10 RBIs with 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Michael Braswell haven't seen much of Michael Braswell this year, and that's because of his struggles. But although he's been hitting the ball decently, 280 batting average with a double and 2 home runs. But if you look at everybody else, Ethan Fry, 255, Jake Brown, 246, Stephen Milam, a 202 batting average. By the way, this is before today. So like they've been struggling, right? I mean, it's like, look, if you look at how it's been all year, right, including the non-conference games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the stars for LSU have a 300 batting average. And Jake Brown had a 295 and Stephen Milam had a 287. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys who have played over 30 games that have a 285 batting average or over. And then you go down to SEC play, only 2 have a batting average over 300. Now, a lot of that is because you get the SEC play, you play better competition, you play better pitching, right? Some of those pitchers are going to be pitching in the major leagues, right? This is the best conference this is the best baseball conference in the country. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, also baseball is an original sport. And of course, baseball in the South is a huge deal. But it's just not a good look for LSU because it just seems like it's a recurring theme that the hitting can't come through. It's a really unfortunate situation. But then when you get to the pitching, they haven't been that bad, man. Like I know Jacob Myers, Connor Bank, and William Smith have been struggling. DJ Pro had a huge strike on this game. And against Jace LaViolette earlier in game 3. I mean, he's a lefty, so it was a great choice by Jay to go with DJ Primo as a lefty. Create that, have him go against Jace LaViolette, and then boom, he's out of there. And you saw that a lot during the game 3. But Connor Ware, 284 in six appearances. So he's been solid. Cooper Williams has been solid. for you. And then, of course, you have Zach Cowan and Casey Evans, who are kind of used as a 1-2 punch in game. Game three. A lot of times in the third game of the series, and both those guys see most of their time coming out of the bullpen. They've been awesome. 1.17 ERA for Casey Evans, with 28 strikeouts and three. It only had three runs off of 19 hits. Zach Cowan also has been awesome as well. 1.75 ERA in SEC play in 11 appearances, and then he's struck out 30, only walked 5, and has had 6 runs allowed, 5 of which have been earned. So, like, they haven't been bad, right? Like, this is, would you want the pitcher staff to be better? Yeah, of course. But, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. If you could get 5 or 6 guys coming out of the bullpen who are solid, that's a pretty good pitcher staff. But now you would like to see more guys perform a little bit better. But if you have 5 or 6 guys coming in the bullpen, that's a pretty good pitcher staff. And also, Maverick Rizzi has his moments as well. He's just a freshman right now, right? And he's going to get better with time, just like Cade Anderson got better with time. Last year, Cade Anderson was used more as a reliever he was more of a midweek starter / bullpen guy for LSU last year. He had his bright spots, but in some moments you're like, oh, he's a freshman. I think the same thing is happening with Maverick Rizzi. I like the bullpen, what they're doing now. You just want to see the bats come through and make hits and make plays. Chris Stanfield. Like I said, Chris Stanfield. The reason why I like Chris Stanfield is he's not a guy that's going to generate runs, but he's a guy that you can rely on to get a hit a lot of times in a leadoff spot. He can get on base. He's a good base runner. He's also a veteran, right? He's played in SC before. He was at Auburn the previous couple of years. So he has experience playing in the SC, and he's seen a lot of these pitchers that he's been seeing this year. It's just nobody else besides Chris Stanfield and Derek Hero. Nobody's really coming through with the bats consistently, right? I just want to phrase consistently. I'm not saying nobody else can't hit. Yeah, of course they can hit, but not consistently. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've gotten into SEC play, but they have not been consistent. It's just a very tough situation to be in. And if you're LSU, you got to get it fixed, man. You have to get this fixed. And next week, you'll be going up against a very, very good Arkansas team, an Arkansas team that has really given LSU a really hard time in recent years. Oh my God. Actually go through this real quick. So, LSU baseball series. Because I'm trying to figure out how LSU I think Arkansas's won 8 of the last 11 meetings between Arkansas and LSU. I'm trying to figure all that out right now. Okay. I think I figured it out now. So Arkansas, if I do the math correctly, because I know we lost the series. So LSU got swept last year. So LSU has lost 11 of his last 14 meetings against Arkansas. The only series LSU's won against Arkansas was 2023. That was the year where LSU, because remember, that was a game they actually lost in extra innings. Paul Skeens pitched a hell of a game, but Arkansas won it late in extra innings after they had a huge 10th inning, right? If I remember correctly, going off the box score. But yeah, so Arkansas scored 8 runs in the 10th inning. I was there covering the game. It was brutal. They had 10 runs scored in the 8th inning to win that game. I believe it was 9-3, and then LSU won the last two. Actually, LSU killed them last two. The next two, LSU won on it. They had a double header the next day because of the rain. And that rain was going to happen on Sunday, and LSU won 12-2 in a run rule in 7 innings, and then the last game they won 14-5. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that you have what was the guy's name? Hunter Holland and Hagen Smith, and those are two back-to-back left-handers. And Hunter Holland and Hagen Smith have been giving LSU, like the 3 years of the Arkansas were literally giving LSU hell. Like LSU could not hit off them, no matter if it was Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan. It didn't matter who was up to play for LSU. Like they could not get a single lick off of Hunter Holland or Hagen Smith. Actually, and if you go into the SEC play, remember, like Arkansas ended up beating LSU. So really, the series, technically, if you count the SEC tournament, the series was tied 2-2. So LSU didn't really have a winning record against Arkansas that season either. But yeah, 11 of the last 14 meetings between the Tigers and the Hogs has gone Arkansas's way 11 out of the last 14 times. And LSU needs if they want to host a super regional, they would probably have to win that series. They would. Oh, hold on. Front one. They have to win the series. Let me pull up their schedule for this year. Share screen. So if you look at their schedule, man, so you got Arkansas next week. May 9th through the 11th. And by the way, May 10th is my birthday. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. So but yeah, my birthday weekend, I really hope LSU gets something going. But Friday, May 9th through May 11th, and then the first game is at 6:30 Central Time. Game 2 is 5:30 Central Time, and then Sunday, Mother's Day, it's 3:00 Central Time. And then you got the series against South Carolina. I expect LSU to win that one. Like they should win that one. South Carolina's had a really down year of baseball so far. In Paul Maneri's first year at the helm, it just has not worked out at all. South Carolina right now, their record is 26-22, and they've been 5-18 in conference play. But I will say this: they are 21-9 at home. So it's look. If there's one series where South Carolina is going to shock people, it could be against LSU, because Paul Maneri's head coach of South Carolina, and I think the players might want to be more motivated to win one for him, just because obviously Paul Maneri retired, but of course I think just getting one over his former team. Also, just how last year ended, right? LSU and South Carolina had battles in the SEC tournament, all of which LSU won. So I know they want revenge against LSU. It's not let alone Paul Maneri being the head coach, but just after what happened last year. But if you're LSU, you are sitting with a conference record of 15-9. If you want to host a super regional, you would need at least 18 to 20 wins to host a super regional. Now, I do think LSU will be fine. I think, also you have to play one this SEC tournament as well. But we know for a fact that the NCAA wants Baton Rouge to host regionals, right? LSU makes a lot of money. It's good for the sport. Of course, LSU is a major brand in college baseball. They have been since the mid-'80s. And the NCAA wants LSU to host, but they also want LSU to host as long as they possibly can. When postseason plays at the box, that place is always packed. You see nothing but purple and gold, mostly gold. It's a very raucous environment. It's great for TV. They want to host a super regional, but to boost your chances of getting super regional, you have to win the series over Arkansas. Whether it's best 2 out of 3 or you just sweep Arkansas completely. That's your best chance to get super regional. You win the series against Arkansas and you win the series against South Carolina. There's a great chance LSU could host a super regional. And then also including that's how they perform in the SEC tournament. If you get to about 40 to 45 wins, and you have an 18 and 12 or 18-13, 18-13 record or whatever. 18 and 12 because I think they played 30 conference games, if I remember correctly. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 30 games. So 18 and 12 is your conference record. Plus you got about between 42 and 45 wins. Should be enough for a super regional. And I expect LSU to perform well in the SEC tournament. They should. I think they should at least get 2. But if you finish between 40 and 45 wins and have between 18 and 20 wins in conference play, and then 2 wins in the tournament, LSU should host a super regional. I think they should because their RPI helps them out a lot. And then also just because they're a national brand, usually if you're a national brand, you get more, you get a little bit more leeway to host a regional, especially in the NCAA's eyes. But also because of it. Remember, this is the first year where the SEC is expanded, right? Since 2012, between 2012 and 2024, for 12, 13 seasons, there was 14 teams. Now you have 16 teams. So I'm wondering if the expansion of the conference may even give LSU even more credence, right? So a lot of times, for example, let's say if teams are looking at going into the tournament, usually getting the tournament, you would need 13 conference wins and you probably have to have at least 35. That should get you into the tournament now because of an expanded conference. And it's gotten tougher because both Oklahoma and Texas are both ranked in the top 25. And actually, Texas is a top 10 team. I think Oklahoma is I think they're let me see. So yeah, according to D1 Baseball, hold on. Because for some reason, D1 Baseball, I don't know why that's weird. Wrong sport. Because if you look at the rankings, Texas is number 1. LSU's number so Texas is number 1 team in the country, and then Oklahoma, they're number 21. So you just added 2 more top 25 teams, and if you look at the top 25, Texas, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee, Arkansas. Texas, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, Arkansas, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss. Yeah, Ole Miss. So that's 10 out of 16 teams in the top 25. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. I mean, so I'm pretty sure RPI will give a little bit more credence to SEC teams this year. So maybe you don't need 18-20. Maybe it's just 17 this year because of the expanded conference. Who knows? But once again, it's just a very tough conference. Very, very tough. Just tough conference. Right? I mean, 10 out of the 60 teams that SEC are in the top 25. That's absolutely insane. So I think LSU still has a shot to host Super Regional, even if they lose the series because Arkansas, in my opinion, just because they are RPI, they're RPI, and where they stand in terms of college baseball. But you'd be in a much better spot if you win the series against Arkansas and South Carolina. You don't if you win those two series, you don't have to worry about anything else. You're good. But it's just a very, very very tough situation. And if you win the series against A&M, I think you could get away with losing the series against Arkansas and then winning the series against South Carolina, or vice versa, right? But with this A&M series loss, it makes things a little bit more murky. I still think they'll host a regional as of right now. But to host that super regional, you needed a little bit more wins in the win column, especially in conference play. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. Please like this video and subscribe to LSU at the Voice of College Football Network to help this thing grow. We're going to, of course, have our live show tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about the game with Zach and get what are his thoughts about the game from his eyes. We'll also discuss some more football topics as well. But just once again, very, very tough loss for LSU as they lose 2 games out of 3. They had a chance to win game 3. They were in the lead, but 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning by Texas A&M, including a 3-run shot from Sorrell of A&M. It's just another tough loss for your LSU Fighting Tigers. I'm Grant Sashray, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. And we'll have Zach back too. So grateful for that. But anyway, see you guys later.